Where is our border czar Kamala Harris? Four Venezuelan men beat up and rob a woman in her Dallas home and take thousands of dollars worth of goods. Let's check it out.
Dallas police arrested four men for an attack on a woman in September. Hello, I'm Steve Eager. Court documents say the men used Google Translate to communicate with the victim. We're learning all four men are Venezuelan and they've been placed on an immigration hold. Fox 4 Stephen Dahl.
Which means they are not here legally.
Our newsroom with more on the arrest. Stephen.
Steve, we just learned court documents say that Hernandez, the first man that was arrested, told investigators that the other three suspects were members of a gang. And as you mentioned, all four suspects are from Venezuela and are currently on immigration hold.
This is a horrifying, terrifying scenario, right? One that we have not seen in the Metroplex in a while.
Dallas police have arrested all four men suspected of brutally attacking and robbing a woman inside her home on Ellsby Avenue. The incident happened back in September. The suspects, 28-year-old Manuel Hernandez, 20-year-old Yen Brian Torrealba Sanibria, 24-year-old Carlos Alberto Martinez Silva, and 27-year-old Wilmer Jesus Colmenares Gonzalez are all from Venezuela and on immigration hold. Court documents say when the victim got home around 10 p.m., four men approached her garage and pointed a gun at her. She told police that the men used Google Translate to communicate with her during the incident. Police say the men got away with $75,000 in jewelry, a Gucci purse, and the woman's phone. We spoke to criminologist Dr. Alex Del Carmen about the incident.
It is concerning that they are sophisticated enough to be able to identify the crime of opportunity, which in this case, they probably were casing that house or that location for a while. Number two, that they understood that they could not communicate with the victim and therefore they needed a translation device.
A fingerprint helped police make the arrest of Hernandez. The other three suspects were arrested after a standoff near DFW Airport Thursday. According to an arrest warrant affidavit.
You know what's scary is that I don't live that far from the airport. So the fact that this happened, that there was a standoff near the airport, it's pretty scary.
At one point, the men threatened to cut off the complainant's fingers. The arrest warrant said that the men were communicating with an unknown person by phone and kept asking about a safe. The victim told them that she didn't have one. It's unclear if she was the intended target.
In this particular case, where you have an overwhelming number of people that obviously outnumber her, that are armed, that have their identities covered, and that are giving her instructions specifically as to what to do, she absolutely did the right thing.
The arrest warrant affidavit also reports that the men, quote, placed the complainant in the bathroom and told her to wait 10 minutes before moving.
This is some third world stuff. This is gang type stuff. Threatening to cut off her fingers and telling her not to leave the restroom for 10 minutes, having somebody on the phone in an unknown location. They could have been here in DFW. They could have been somewhere in Venezuela. We don't know. But that is terrifying, to say the least.
I don't think we know what we're dealing with, i.e. the level of violence, the methodology that they carry out, and the fact that they're obviously being orchestrated and being organized and being given instructions by another entity that is not on location. And that really concerns me.
Now, the court documents that we also just got a hold of also mentioned two other suspect names that were not the names of the people that were arrested. So we're hoping to get more information soon.
Whether she was the intended target or not that doesn't matter, because they still planned this. This was well coordinated. They were watching this house, or at least the house they thought that it was. Maybe they were watching over a period of time. They see she drives a nice car. She might be a single woman. She has jewelry. So they may have been casing out for a couple of weeks. And then they just assume there's a safe because, hey, you have all this jewelry here, all this fancy stuff. We know you have some money. We don't know what that was like, what was behind that. But the fact that these types of things are happening in our community in Dallas-Fort Worth is terrifying. And there's somebody in the comments on a previous video I did on the Texas polling. You can watch the back and forth between her and I. Him, whatever it was. I don't know who I'm talking to. But they don't seem to understand the severity of the border issue. They don't understand the severity of it because I keep saying that there are 425,000 convicted criminals that have crossed the border and that are out in the streets right now. 13,099 convicted of murder. And I'm not saying that everybody that crosses the border has bad intentions. There may be some very good people that are coming across the border, want a better life. I get that. But the problem is when you don't know who's coming over and you have people with ill intentions coming to rob people, kill people, rape women, murder children like we saw down in Houston, even if it's a small percentage, that is too many. And that's why this is the number one issue going into the election because it's a terrifying issue. And $75,000, that's a lot of money to jewelry, worth of jewelry. That's a lot of stuff to get away with. She likely worked very hard for that. If she's a working woman, has a home, she likely worked very hard for that stuff, that jewelry she has, the phone, the Gucci purse, and she was just coming home one afternoon and bam, this happens. This could happen to anybody. It's very important we take control of this issue. This is why Governor Abbott declared these people as this Venezuelan gang, declared them a terrorist organization. We're going after them. So the state of Texas is taking this very seriously. We have 9 anti-gang units set up across the state. We're going after the way they make money. So we're going after them very hard. And Texas is taking this very seriously so it does not spread and become a problem, a big issue inside of all of our communities. I'll tell you where I live, they won't put up with this nonsense. The police force here is very serious about gangs, gang activity. The worst that happens here is theft. People stealing stuff from a store. So I'm comforted in the fact that I've actually talked to my police department, somebody in the police department about this issue. This specific issue right here with the Venezuelans and all that, the Venezuelan gang. And he told me it's very straightforward, so they will not put up with that here where I live. So talk to your sheriff, talk to your local police department, and see if they're paying attention to what's going on, if they know what's going on, and how serious they're taking this nonsense, because it's scary. But yeah, I want to share that with you because this is close to home. This is in Dallas. I don't live in Dallas, thankfully, but yeah, I stay away from Dallas as much as possible anyway. Yeah, all right. I'm going to leave that right there. Like and subscribe. See you next time. Thank you. Take care.